Okay, I think it's recording now. Yes, it looks like it's recording. Okay, welcome to week 1 of ConvertKit Rockstars. I am so incredibly excited to have you doing this program with me. It's honestly one of the most fun things I've ever really done in my business, and it's such a honor to share everything I have learned about ConvertKit over the past it's about 1.5 years now with you guys in this way. So a little bit of housekeeping. If I'm going too fast, please do let me know. I have a tendency to talk super fast when I get excited about stuff. So if I'm going too fast, please just pop in the chat and let me know. If you have any questions at any point, please do put them in the chat box. I may not answer them immediately. It depends on how they fit in the flow of what I'm saying. But post any questions in the chat box, and sometimes I will also ask you to post the question into the Facebook group so that I can answer it better. It's not the right time or way for me to answer it. So put all your questions in the chat box and I will tell you when and where I'm going to answer them effectively for you. On the topic of the Facebook group, there's still a couple of you who haven't yet made your way to the Facebook group. Let me just grab the link. Please do make your way to, is this the Facebook group? Yes, this is the Facebook group. So please do make your way to the Facebook group if you haven't yet done that. That is where I primarily am going to communicate with you. I try to send emails about once a week as well, but I tend to forget to do that. So the Facebook group is the hub of ConvertKit Rockstars. So today we are going to relook at the basics of email marketing, and we're going to get an overview of what you've done, what you're currently doing, and what you want to be doing. And most importantly, why you did what you did, why you do what you do, and why you want to do what you want to do. And this is going to allow you to build really strong, intentional foundations for everything else we do in ConvertKit Rockstars. So the thing I have found time and time again working with clients, and often people who are like me, and I'm a massive course junkie, is that if you follow other people's strategies and tactics, like point by point, you follow exactly what they did, it usually doesn't work as effectively for you because you're not taking into consideration all the other stuff that makes you who you are, makes your audience who they are, makes your business what it is. So this is why we cover this stuff first. Now, for some of you, this is going to be quite basic. For some of you, this is going to be quite overwhelming. It's absolutely fine, no matter how you find this week. It's really important still to cover this stuff. So we're not going anywhere near ConvertKit this week, or next week actually, but you may need to go into your ConvertKit accounts to have a look for some of the answers for the questions I'm going to give you this week. Okay, let me change the slides. Here we go. So first up, what is email marketing? So I really, this is Wikipedia's definition, and I really like this definition because I think it's actually very broad, and we talk about email marketing as though we know what it is, but this is, should you be, okay, Maria has just asked, should she be taking notes? You can do, you probably don't really need to, it depends how you like to learn. So I'm going to talk over the slides. You will, after this training, get the recording of the training, and you'll also get the slides. So it depends how you like to learn or how you take information. That's a really great question. Okay, so I'm just going to read this one out. Email marketing is the act of sending a commercial message, typically to a group of people using email. In its broadest sense, every email sent to a potential or current customer could be considered email marketing. It usually involves using email to send advertisements, request business, or solicit sales or donations, and is meant to build loyalty, trust, or brand awareness. Marketing emails can be sent to a purchase lead list or a current customer database. The term usually refers to sending email messages with the purpose of enhancing a merchant's relationship with current or previous customers, encouraging customer loyalty and repeat business, acquiring new customers, or convincing current customers to purchase something immediately, and sharing third-party ads. So I really like this definition because I think often we can get into the mindset that email marketing is like one thing, when actually anyone who comes into contact with your business, anyone on your list, they're there for a huge variety of reasons. And we're going to talk a little bit more about funnels, which gets people quite scared sometimes, but we're going to talk a little bit more about funnels a little bit today, and then certainly next week, in terms of people can be at different stages with you and you're still communicating with them via email. So they might have just heard of you, they might have bought from you hundreds of times before, you're still going to be using email marketing. So one thing that I just want to FYI you about is that ConvertKit does not allow you to email a purchase list through them. So people have to give you their email address into your ConvertKit account freely. You can't buy email lists in ConvertKit. I'm sure none of you are doing that, but that's against ConvertKit's rules. Okay, so why is email marketing so effective? And the most important reason is that email is incredibly personal. I once heard someone say, quite recently actually, that a lot of people say these days that email is becoming so overwhelming. Like there's no point with email marketing anymore. And it's not personal anymore. But they then said that if I go and look in your inbox right now and snoop about, how would you feel? And the answer for virtually everyone is that you'd feel really uncomfortable. And that's because your inbox and your email is still a really personal place. Another advantage of email marketing is you don't have to pay to play. Once you've got a list of subscribers that have given you permission to email them, you can email them. Whereas things like Facebook and other forms of advertising, you have to pay to do that. You have complete control over your list of email addresses. It's not going to disappear. It's not going to go anywhere. It's your list. Like Facebook might disappear one day. Email is not going to disappear one day. And if the internet disappears, then we're all screwed on a much bigger level than not being able to contact our subscribers. So if the internet goes, we've got a much bigger problem. Emails nearly always arrive into people's inboxes, whereas on social media, a very small percentage, and it's ever shrinking, ever see anything you post. So, you know, when you post on Facebook, it will say like 13 people reached. Whereas when you send an email, like that did land in those people's inboxes and much higher percentage will open and look at that. Email has much higher clicks and conversions than social media. Social media is obviously the big one that people compare email marketing to and be like, oh, it's all about Pinterest, it's all about Facebook, blah, blah. So no, it's all about email marketing and it will continue to be for a long time yet. And the last one is that people generally want to see promotional information in their emails, not on their social media. So social media's origins is a way to keep in touch with people and friends. And yes, that has become more and more like businessified, but really people expect and want to receive promotional stuff via their emails. And there is this understanding that they gave you permission to contact them about promotional stuff in their inbox. So Sarah here has said, I've been hearing murmurings online about people ditching their email list for Facebook Messenger and bots. Sounds like a bad idea to me. Maybe it can augment, but I don't think email should be tossed. Do you? I'm guessing I know your answer. Absolutely. So yeah, I think things like Facebook Messenger and bots, because like a year or two ago, it was all about Periscope, wasn't it? And these things, Blab, that saw a few months heyday. Like these things come and go, whereas email marketing since email began, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, I have no idea when email began, I'm not gonna lie, I should look this up sometime. But since email as a thing began, people have used that in a business capacity. Other things have come and gone. So, you know, like MySpace, where's MySpace gone? People use MySpace for business. My first business, I used MySpace heavily originally, and that's long gone. So I think it's absolutely fine to play with newer technologies, play with messenger bots, play with these sorts of things. But I really, really strongly advise that you still have a solid email list, because that is the one thing in business that is standing the test of time. Nothing else is comparable in that way. Okay, so a few more thoughts on email marketing. And this is just some heads up when you're, you know, setting up and doing things. These are things that are going to happen, and I just want you to give you my thoughts on them. So the first one is that some people on your list, some of your subscribers, may never give you money. But if they stay on your list and continue to engage with your free stuff, you can bet they're going to have a good opinion of you if they are staying on your list, and they may well recommend you to their friends, and their friends may well buy from you. So some people will never buy, and that's okay. And another cool thing about people who may never buy is that if they get free value from you, then you're actually serving more people in the world. And I attract, and I'm sure most of you want to make good money for your gifts and your work in the world, but you also want to help people. And by having some people on your list who are never going to buy from you, it does actually allow you to help more people. One thing on this though, they may never give you money, but don't confuse this with cold subscribers. So cold subscribers, they never open your emails, they never click on your emails. That's different to people who are on your list but who'll never give you money. They're just not engaging with your emails. These are people who are engaging with your emails but who may never give you money. But they might recommend someone who gives you money, and you're also helping more people in the world. Another thing, you don't know when someone will give you money or buy from you. So the first 10 things, the first 20 things more that you send them may not be the right thing for them to buy, or it might not be the right time, but one day it might suddenly be the right thing, or the right time, or the right offer. So I see this in my business happen time and time again. And I think there are some rock stars doing this round actually, who have been on my list for well over a year and have never purchased anything from me. They've never joined anything, they've never done anything. And then like all of a sudden they will make the decision, and it'll be the right time, and it'll be the right offer, and they will join you at one of the higher levels that someone can work with you. So don't worry too much about when they'll buy. Don't rule them out too quickly is what I'm trying to say. And again, don't confuse these people with people who are cold, who are not engaging with you at all. Then just a heads up, you will always have some people on your list, but it makes virtually no sense that they're there. And my advice is don't worry too much about those people, because again, you don't know who they know. And again, you don't know if and when they'll ever buy from you. So like some people can get quite obsessed with looking at who's on their list, and looking at information and looking at data, but people do strange things. So just be aware that there's lots going on with the subscribers on your list. And the last thing I want to tell you is that if your target audience is not fellow business owners, I think this is actually going to apply to most of you, just make sure that you put yourself in their shoes. Just because you're overwhelmed with the number of emails you receive each day doesn't necessarily mean that your subscribers are. So I recently heard that the average person receives less than 6 promotional emails each day. Now, it's a good day for me if I receive less than 60. So just remember that we are rarely our target audience. And even if we are our target audience, we know about online business and we know what a freebie opt-in is and we know how this email thing works. Most of your subscribers are people who are thrilled that you're going to send them something for free in exchange for their email address. And they actually really like to hear from you because they're not on loads of lists and they're not super overwhelmed. So just a reminder there that not most people, if your target audience is not fellow business owners, they probably think differently about email than you feel when you receive emails. So I think a lot of you would have known a lot of this, but it's always good to refresh and recap why all successful businesses, I mean, you can probably find an exception, but virtually all successful businesses do focus on email marketing. And perhaps this little recap has created a little aha or two for you, a little realization in terms of where you're focusing your attention in your business. So moving on to the meat of this week, ConvertKit Rockstars, we're going to focus on 3 different things next. The first is that we're going to talk about past, present, and future email marketing in your business. And we're going to talk about your business as a whole, but we're also going to talk obviously specifically about how it relates to email marketing. Yeah, Lorna says it's good news knowing how many come into inboxes. Exactly. Like if you, I don't know, if you have it would be a really interesting activity actually to ask a friend who is not in this world, or a sibling or something, like what sort of emails do you get each day, how many emails do you get each day, and just ask them. I think the answers for most of us would be very enlightening as to what it's like for normal people. Okay, so some of these questions are going to be relevant, more relevant to some of you than others. Some won't be relevant. Just do your best. So I sent out email, and it's in the Facebook group, the week 1 worksheet, which is the homework for this week. But I just want to chat through the questions in more detail. So the questions on these slides correlate exactly to the worksheet, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the worksheet in front of you. So for your past email marketing, how long have you had an email list? Why did you first start your email list? Was it because someone told you you need an email list? Was it just a practical thing that you realized you were going to need? Why did you start an email list? Has it always been a regular list where people sign up? Or have you used something in the past like FeedBurner to send them posts? Susan said, question on the worksheet. Several times it says end of June. Should we translate that to end of August? Yes, you should. You should. I've changed it on these slides and I didn't realize that it was also on the worksheet. Yes, please change. Anywhere it says June, change it to August. I'm sorry about that. That's my mistake. I thought I'd caught them all. Okay, so have you always had a regular list, or have you ever had any other type of list or way to collect email addresses? Have you ever switched from single to double opt-in in the past, and if so, why? We're going to talk more about single and double opt-in in the coming weeks, but this is just a question. Have you ever switched directions significantly in your business but kept the same list? So this is a thing that happens quite often, but we don't always acknowledge what that's going to mean for our email list when we change direction. So Diane has just asked, she doesn't know what an opt-in is. So an opt-in is, so single versus double opt-in. Single opt-in is where someone signs up for your list and they're automatically on your list. Double opt-in is where they receive an email to confirm if they definitely want to be on your list or not. So sometimes you sign up for a list and you get an email saying, please confirm your subscription, please confirm your email address. That's what's known as a double opt-in, because there's 2 parts to them getting onto your list. And then the other meaning of an opt-in is when someone signs up, if you give them a free thing, like an opt-in form where they are opting in to be on your list. You're right, it's totally confusing, and we use the word opt-in in many different ways, and we mean slightly different things each time. But I'll be aware that you asked what it was, so I'll try and explain what it is as we go. What type of opt-in we mean. Okay, so have you ever switched direction significantly in your business but kept the same list? Why have people signed up to your list in the past? And what former opt-ins have you had? So this is a freebie opt-in. So why do people sign up? Did you get lists at like live networking events? Have you run workshops where people signed up to your list? Have you offered different, in the past, maybe for a while you were offering a free meditation if they signed up, and then you changed it to something else, so like journal prompts or something, whatever it is. Why have people signed up to your list in the past? Like, how did they get there? Why did they give you their email address? And have you tried a variety of email styles in the past? So some examples of, we're on the next page, there we go. Oh, no, we're not. Huh. Yeah, have you tried a variety of email styles in the past? So e.g. like roundup type emails where you give them multiple things in the same email? Have you only ever emailed when you're selling something or launching something? Do you like to tell stories in your emails and then invite them to do something as a result of the story? So what type of emailing styles have you tried in the past? And have you ever switched email service provider? And if so, when and why? So many of you would not originally have been on ConvertKit. I think there's a couple of you who are starting on ConvertKit. I'll double check that. But yes, why did you switch and when did you switch? So that's your email marketing past. And then your present. How many people are on your list right now? That's your like total list. Define it however you want to define it. What's your average open rate? What's your average click rate? Do not get too stressed about these. They are not real benchmarks of success. We're going to talk more about these in future, but what's your current average open and click rate? Do you have any autoresponders or sequences set up for new subscribers? So if someone signs up, do they receive any automated emails from you? So do they get a welcome sequence, a few emails introducing yourself? Do they receive a free email course? That kind of thing. And what are the open and click rates like for those? If you are not sure how to find any of these numbers, make sure you post in the Facebook group and I will help you figure out how to find these different numbers. What percentage of your subscribers are cold? So this is going to be most relevant for people who have been on ConvertKit for at least 30 to 90 days or longer. And I'm going to make a note to tell people make a little tutorial about how to find number of cold subscribers. It's going on a post-it note. My entire life is on a post-it note. Okay. What type of people are on your list? So have you got different types of people on your list? What type of people are on your list? Maria, great. Yeah, I will tell you about the cold subscribers. It varies. It doesn't mean much, the number of cold subscribers you've got, the percentage, but it is a useful number to be aware of. So yeah, what type of people have you got on your list? What are people's options for signing up to your list right now? So if I wanted to sign up to your list right now, how would I do that? Where could I sign up? Why could I sign up? Like, what opt-in forms do you have right now? How many different types of people are there on your list? What are those types? Why do you have different audiences? So for example, I have several groups of people on my list, and we're going to go into way more detail about this next week. But for example, I have people on my list who are considering ConvertKit. I've got people on my list who are brand new. I've got people to ConvertKit. I've got people who are much more advanced with ConvertKit. I've got people from my broader business who have no interest in ConvertKit. Maria said, I don't think even think I know the answers to many of these questions. That's okay. Don't stress about these questions. Just do your best. This is just trying to shed some light on where you're at now so that you can move forward in a more informed place. So just do your best. If you haven't got answers to some of these questions, it honestly does not matter. No one's ever going to see this except for you. You can do some, I think I've got these types of people. It's not, don't stress about it. Please don't stress about these questions. Next question is, how often do you email your list? It's okay if you have not emailed your list in months. I promise you it's okay. But how often roughly do you email them, and has this increased or decreased over time? And for many of you, the answer will be not very often and that it's decreased, and that's absolutely okay. When you email your list, what sort of emails do you send them? So again, this goes back to style. Do you send roundups? Do you send them your newest blog post? Do you only email them when you're selling something? What funnels do you currently have set up? So if I sign up on your site right now, what will happen? And if I fall in love with you today and I sign up everywhere I can, what happens? I wrote a blog post about this called Obsessed Newbie Test, which I'm going to post in the group. I'll post it with the recording of this, the Obsessed Newbie Test. Let me try that down. Okay. That's okay, Maria. Maria says her strategy is a train wreck. That's okay. That's why you're here. Please don't worry. This will all be improved. We're just finding out where everybody is right now. Like, you're finding out where you are right now so that you can improve it. The only thing we can do is improve from here. That's why you're here. Is your list making you any money? And if so, how is it making you money? And the last question for the present is, can people give you money straight away? If I go to your website right now, can I pay you for something? This is not an email marketing question, really. It's like a business strategy question. And I'm going to make sure I link to my Obsessed Newbie Test blog post with the recording of this, so you can learn a little bit more about this, like my approach to it on my test. Okay, future. In an ideal world, how do you envisage your list email marketing to be making you money? So are you planning to have automated sales coming in through a funnel? Are you planning to have more of an ongoing relationship with your list where you email them regularly with a range of things? Are you planning a bit of both? Like, how are you planning? How would you, in an ideal world, like your list and your email marketing to be making you money? Who else have you seen that you really liked their approach to email marketing? So there's no right or wrong answers here. This is just getting you thinking about what it would be really cool if you had set up for yourself. Sorry, I was just reading the chat, but it's not relevant for me to read it out. Sorry, that's why I'm quiet there. Okay, so how would you like your emailing style or personality to be? What would you like it to be? And why do you want it to be like that? So do you want to be someone who emails every single morning a little, like a one-line email thought for the day? Do you want to do these epic roundup posts once a month that everyone looks forward to, or once a week? Like, what do you want your style to be, and why do you want it to be like that? And I really encourage you to not pick something that you have never previously done. Like, pick something that's going to suit your personality type. Pick something, if, like, I'm a born curator. I don't like creating content. I'm getting better at it, but I like curating content, other people's content. So that's my email style. And generally, if you've been on my list a little while, when I'm not launching, I generally send these emails with like 5 or 6 different things in them. And that's my curating personality style. But you want to think about how, in an ideal world, you want it to be, because that's where we're going to be heading towards in ConvertKit Rockstars. How often would you like to be emailing your list? So anywhere between daily and monthly is fine. It honestly is fine. I know people making it work anywhere between daily and monthly. So how often, and not even on a schedule. You don't have to email your list on a schedule. I give you full permission to not email like on a regular schedule, because I don't, and email marketing still works fine for me. You have permission to do this your way. So how often would you like to be emailing, and why? Always and why. Why is the interesting question. So what types of opt-ins do you want to have, and how many? So some people, like opt-ins here is like an opt-in freebie. So, and you don't even have to have opt-in freebies, if I'm honest. I did a whole video about that. But some people really like to have one signature freebie opt-in that everyone signs up through. And some people like to have like 8, 10, 20 different little freebies that people could sign up to, like content upgrades at the bottom of blog posts. And we can talk more about those if that's going to be relevant to some of you. But like, how do you want to be using opt-ins in your business? And you don't have to use freebie opt-ins. You can just say, like, if you want to hear more, please give me your email address. People do that. People tell you that you have to give them something in exchange, and that's not strictly true. Will you be selling all the time, or will you have launches, like live launches, or both? How does your ideal audience like to receive email? So this is a really important question that a lot of people do not spend enough time thinking about. So let's say you have your target audience is like busy mums. Now, busy mums probably read their email at certain times. Now, it might be stolen minutes when they're looking on their phone. Like maybe busy mums read their email when they're like having a bathroom break. Like you have to think, and if that's the case, you probably don't want to send super long emails with loads of different things in them. But some people, so people who work at, if your target audience are professionals who are in 9-to-5 jobs, then later afternoon they may be looking to procrastinate, and your email may be something that they can spend 10-15 minutes looking at. So how does your ideal audience like to receive email? The next question is, how are you planning to regularly grow your list? How are you going to keep getting in front of new people? So ConvertKit Rockstars is not really a list building program per se. We're far more concerned with what happens once they arrive in your ConvertKit account, but it is worth thinking about how you're going to keep getting new people on your list. And the last question is, what's coming up in the next year in your business that you need to be considering as we move into ConvertKit Rockstars? It's okay if you do not know. It's okay if you're thinking, like a week ahead. That's absolutely fine. I'm often like that too. But just jot down here anything you need to be aware of in the next year or so. And take a sip of water. Let me know if you've got any questions. We finished the past, present, and future, and we're now going to go into, I don't even know how to categorize this, some funnily stuff. It's not really funnel stuff. It's audience types. I don't know. We're going to that in a minute, this bit. I don't know how to categorize this section. Okay, let's talk about types of traffic. This is a brief overview, and I'm going to direct you to a book if you want to learn more about this. But there are, and it's worth being, we're going to talk about types of traffic because you need to be aware that you will have all of these types of traffic on your list as subscribers. And you also want to be aware about types of traffic because you generally want to communicate with different types of traffic differently. So you've got cold traffic. Do not confuse this with cold subscribers. We're not talking about the same thing. So cold traffic is people who do not know who you are. They just don't know who you are yet. So if you see a Facebook ad from someone you've never seen before, you are their cold traffic. So Facebook ads is usually being run to like cold traffic. And if they sign up for you, they're cold. They don't know anything about you. They're just like, this looks interesting, I'm going to sign up. Next, you've got warm traffic. So warm subscribers. So warm subscribers are people who, there's two ways to look at this. They're either people who don't know who you are, but know someone that you know who they are. They know who you are. I didn't explain that well. So they don't know who you are, but they know someone that you have a relationship with. So let's say, for example, that, I don't know, like they don't know who you are, but they know a peer in your industry and they like that peer in the industry. And if the peer in your industry mentions you, then that's warmer traffic because it's got like a good recommendation. The other understanding of warm traffic is people who have been on your list a while and they know who you are and they like you. It's a little bit confusing. So the first definition is Russell Brunson's definition, and the second definition is kind of like what more people would understand. They're warm in that they know who you are now. I'm not explaining this very well, but let's continue. And hot traffic, they know who you are, they have a established relationship with you, and these are the people who are most likely to buy from you or sign up to work with you or however you work. And then we've got other types of traffic. We've got people who are unaware. They are unaware they have a problem. They are unaware that you exist. They're just blissfully unaware of everything. Then you've got people who are problem aware. So they know something is wrong, but they don't know how to fix it. They don't know that you exist. They don't know anything about that. Then you've got solution aware. So if we use the example, I hate using this example, but it's a really good one. So let's use the example is weight loss. So you've got problem aware is people who would rather not be overweight anymore. And then you've got solution aware. Now these are people who don't want to be overweight and know that the solution is changing their diet. And then you've got product aware. And these are people who would like to lose some weight. That's their problem. Their solution is changing their diet, and they are aware that you are, let's say, a health coach or a nutritionist, and you can help them to change their diet. And let's say, for example, you teach cutting out all sugar. So they're aware that your product, your service is helping them cut out sugar, which is going to change their diet, which is going to help them lose weight. And then you've got the most aware people, who are the people who are most likely to join. Now, I did a really bad job of explaining all of this, but basically this stuff, being aware of the types of traffic you've got and the temperature and how much they understand about who you are and how they can help them, is really key to making effective funnels and supporting people from finding you through to working with you and buying from you. And if you want to learn more about this, I strongly, strongly recommend .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. It's probably the best business book I have ever read, and I return to it regularly. And in the resources section, when I give you the recording for this training, there's a link in there. It's an affiliate link to buy his book. He'll send it to you for free. You just pay postage. It's one of those thingies. It's like $12 or something, and he sends the book. Yes, Susan says she has the book, but she hasn't read it yet. I strongly recommend it. It's an incredibly, it's a really good book, and I am quite critical and sensitive to like this boys club style of business. I predominantly, not exclusively, but I predominantly work with women, and there is certainly, like, Russell Brunson is the guy who's created ClickFunnels, and there's this quite boys club around him, and particular types of businesses, and I usually tend to work with more kind, caring, heart-centered type of business owners, but there's nothing really in this book that made me think that it didn't, like, I think a lot of things are problematic, and I'm quite, like, aware of my place in the world as a global citizen, and this book did not trigger any of that for me, and it actually just gave me a lot of really interesting ideas about business. So I strongly recommend this book. I highly recommend you get a copy of this book. It's going to be well worth the postage for it to come to you. Okay, so a couple more things that I want to chat about and that are in the workbook. Now, this is not exclusively to do with email marketing, but I think for a lot of, certainly in the last round, and I think again in this round, ConvertKit Rockstars can be quite a turning point for people in their businesses. And I think when we make a big investment to do some training or some coaching or something, it's always good time to take stock of where we're at and where we want to go, like, take stock of where we're at, take stock of what we're paying for, take stock of what we're doing, and get rid of anything that's not right anymore. So I would love for you to also, like, I call this section, what are you working with? So I would love for you to write a list of all your current opt-in freebies. So this is all the things that you can and do offer people in exchange for their email address. If you do not have any at the moment, that is not a problem. Honestly, not a problem. Do not worry. Do not stress. You do not need any. But write down, if you have got hundreds of them, write them all down. So for me, my example, people either, in terms of opt-in freebies, they either get my beginner's guide to ConvertKit training video, or they get my ConvertKit tags cheat sheet. And I think those are the only two opt-in freebies I've got at the moment, which is strange because most people, well, it's not strange, but most people don't sign up through one of those. I get lots of people signing up just through forms. So people who tell you you have to have opt-in freebies, it is not strictly true. But write down your current ones. Write down a list of, oh, does it say, wait, does it say August? It does say August. Okay, I've changed it here, but I haven't changed it on my notes. Okay, here's where I managed to change it to August. Write down, so quite a lot of us at all times have ideas for things we could create in exchange for getting people's email addresses, like freebie opt-ins. So write down a list of future freebie opt-ins, and this is very important, that you could realistically create by the end of August. And that's very important. Don't write them down unless you can realistically and actually want to potentially do them by the end of August. I would also like you to write a list of all your current offers. Now, offers here mean anything. Okay, great question, Maria. Difference between an opt-in and offer. Offer here is anything that people would or could pay you for. An opt-in is a free thing in exchange for an email address. An offer is a paid product, a paid service. It could be a physical product, it could be a digital product, it could be a course, it could be a service, it could be a paid ebook, a PDF, whatever it is, any way that someone could give you money in your business, write it down. And again, list of all your future things you're planning to offer or sell, or like paid things in future that you are planning in the next 6 months. So if you're planning to start a membership site in the next 3 months, you would write that down here. And then I'd also love for you to write down all the different tools and subscriptions that you pay for. So do you have a lead pages subscription? And an annual and or monthly expenses basically that are tech related. So obviously you either pay for ConvertKit monthly or annually. Do you have lead pages? Do you have Thrive themes? Do you have Gumroad, Teachable, Thinkific, Samcart? Whatever it is, write it down. And then, this is the fun bit, which of the opt-ins, freebies that you currently have don't make any sense for where you want to go in your business, and hopefully the past, present and future activity before this will come into this. If you don't want to do them anymore, cross them off. Cross them off. You can take them off your site, you can take them, you don't have to offer them, you don't have to do them. Which offers, paid offers, don't make sense or do you not love doing? And again, cross them off and or take them off your website. We're spring cleaning your businesses here. And again, are there any, the last one, are there any software subscriptions that you could go ahead and cancel? And if they're, because you're not using them, or you've actually got 3 systems that do exactly the same thing. And if that's the case, make a plan for when you're going to be able to cancel them and put it in your calendar. We're spring cleaning businesses here. So Susan says software subscriptions, plugins, anything that you pay for monthly or annually, recurring, that you use to run your business. Like, make sure, some people are like me and constantly signing up for different tech software things. So like ConvertKit, like I probably have like a MailerLite subscription just because I wanted to try it once and I probably haven't got around to cancelling it. So basically go through and make sure that everything that you are regularly paying for, be that monthly or annual, you actually need and want to continue paying for. Because quite often we pay for things we don't need anymore. Dropbox is an example. I mean, you're probably going to want to keep Dropbox, but just make sure that you'd want to keep paying for it. Dropbox is the type of thing. Maria has asked, is this for us or do we have to share it with you? This is purely for you. I will clarify that in a minute. No one else is going to look at this. This is all for you. So no one else is ever going to see this, or I'm not going to see this. That's fine. So Susan says, if I haven't worn it in 6 months, I throw it out the closet, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if there's a reason you haven't worn it in 6 months, you're going to wear it next month, then yes, you're probably going to keep it. But it's just an opportunity for you to make sure that everything in your business is going to come with you to the next stage of your business, and it's got its place and its purpose in your next stage of your business. And that goes for your opt-in freebies, that goes for your offers, paid things, and that goes for like subscriptions and stuff that you have too. Like, just double check that everything is still earning its keep in your business, so to speak, and is making you happy and is bringing you joy, if you have ever read Marie Kondo. Yeah, stuff that's coming. Make sure that everything in your business is coming to the next stage of the business with you, and if it's not, you can get rid of it. You have my permission to get rid of things that are not coming to the next stage with you. Okay, so the week 1 homework is to fill out the week 1 workbook best you can. I would love for you to post in the group anything that you find interesting or surprising as you go through the workbook. But please do not get overwhelmed with this. If you're struggling, even if it feels really silly, post it into the group. This is not easy work, especially if you're not really used to taking stock of where you're at. And for lots of people, getting all the information laid out on the table can be really overwhelming, and it can bring up a lot of stuff for them, especially if you have spent a lot of money doing a lot of, like, buying a lot of software, doing a lot of things in the past. It can actually be really difficult and overwhelming to go through and look at all of that. Maria has asked, where is the workbook? Did it come via email? I linked to the page that it's on in the email, but I will also link, when I send out the recording, I will also put it on there. And then I will pin the page. There's going to be like a resources page for ConvertKit Rockstars, and I will pin that to the top of the Facebook group. You will get the workbook, don't worry. So yeah, this can be a really like overwhelming process. So please do not panic. In week 2 and 3, we're gonna like put back. So we're getting all the blocks, we're getting it all out on the table, and then in weeks 2 and 3, we're gonna put it back together in a much more straightforward and effective way for both you and your subscribers. So your only job this week is to gather the information and to take some time to really think about how you've got to here, what's working, what's not working, and where you want to go next. This is the first step in any strategy, and it's why if you blindly follow someone else's strategy, it never works very well for you. So just to clarify, you don't need to submit this homework to me. I don't want to see it. This is just for you. If you like to journal and process by writing stuff out, you can absolutely do that on these worksheets. I'm never going to see them. If you need to do some forgiveness work around things you have offered, things you currently offer, things you're paying for, absolutely go ahead. However you want to do this week. If you're a much more straightforward person, you just want to write out the answers and then, yep, I've got all of that, that's fine. That's fine too. Like, use this week however you want to, but we're just getting all the stuff on the table so that we can piece it back together and make sure that it's all a lot more structured and streamlined and coherent for you and your subscribers moving forward. And every week in ConvertKit Rockstars builds on the previous week. So I am basically trying to trick you into creating an email marketing strategy without you realizing it. And at some point I'm going to be like, you just need to connect up week 1, week 2, and week 3, mush it together, and ta-da, there is your strategy. So this is I'm sneaky how I'm doing it, but I don't want anyone to get overwhelmed. We're just getting together. This week is about getting the building blocks. And then next week we'll get some more building blocks. And then in week 3, we will start to stick them together. But it's not scary at any point. It can be difficult work, but it's not overwhelming or scary, I promise. So Lorna, I filled mine out earlier and it was fascinating to do. Not easy, you're right. It's good to take stock. It is good to take stock of things. Annie's not feeling overwhelmed anymore. Excellent. So Susan, excellent. So this is the last slide, I think. Ooh, let me check that. This is the last slide. So please do let me know if you've got any questions. Some of the weeks are about an hour, like this one, and then some of them do go a little bit longer. It varies on what we're doing. So Susan says, in one of the first 3 weeks, will there be something about cleaning up what we've messed up in ConvertKit thus far? It's a great question, Susan. So in week 4 and 5, so week 4 is, where are we? Week 5. Week 5, we will be cleaning. So it surprises people how far we go before we actually get into ConvertKit. But I like people to map it out and then go and put it in ConvertKit as opposed to jump into ConvertKit too soon without much of a plan. So the first 3 weeks are the strategy bit predominantly, and then weeks, where are we, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are the main implementation weeks, but which I know is surprising, but I promise you will get to the cleaning bit. We just need to know what we are decorating in there first. How are you going to redecorate it is the question. So we're gonna design it, and then we're gonna go in and redecorate it for the people who've got messes. And there is a bonus about tidying your ConvertKit account as well, which comes out in week 5. The weeks have changed. There's one more week this time. I'm getting my head around where we're going to be. But yes, we will absolutely be cleaning. It's not going to be in one of the first 3 weeks though. I hope that's okay. If you've got any questions about that, post them in the chat, post them in the group, let me know. So are there any other questions about what you're doing this week? I will send out the recording email later today. Susan has asked, will you be discussing the changes that are currently going on in ConvertKit? Yes, I will be. So when did you sign up, Susan? A little bit later on. Okay, so I had a call with ConvertKit a couple of, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was a week ago, I'm not sure. ConvertKit is bringing out a visual automation builder, and it is rolling out to all subscribers, hopefully on the 1st of September. And that correlates quite nicely with the Funnels and Flow Part 2, Week 5, which is where we go and put it into ConvertKit. So yes, ConvertKit Rockstars, this round is all about, we're going to be setting it up in the new visual builder. So you don't need to worry about, like, I'll still be teaching you the gist of the old system, but basically these you guys are going to be the very first people that I teach how to use the new visual automation builder, which I'm going to personally be getting access to tomorrow. I'm going to be one of the first 15 people or so to get access to it tomorrow. But yeah, so there's going to be no moving later on. You are going to be using the new system, unless the dates all go haywire at ConvertKit's end, but that's the plan. Diane said, I have a very small list using Aweber. Should I just leave it as it is for now and work to grow list after I join ConvertKit? Yeah, I just leave it for now. We will migrate it across, Annie. We'll do that in week 5, I think. We'll bring them across, but just follow through what we're doing each week in ConvertKit Rockstars, and then we will get to that when we get to that, and we'll bring them across and it will all be good. Are there any other questions? If you've got any questions at all, please post them in the Facebook group any day, any questions, anything. It doesn't have to be related to what we're currently working on. If you get behind at any point or whatever, just post whatever question you've got relating to ConvertKit, email marketing. Heck, I'll answer anything about online business strategy. Post in ConvertKit Rockstars and I will answer for you. If there aren't any other questions, I will end this now. I will email out later with the replay, but it has been lovely spending this time with you, and I'm excited for your, it's not decluttering, but it's your shining some light on all the corners of your business. I'm excited for you to go through that process, because it can be really interesting and it can be really refreshing and lightening to, you know, go and see what's in all the corners and check that it should be there. So, and then it usually results in a little bit of decluttering as well. So that has been week 1, and it has been lovely to talk to you, and I will see you-ish again, same time, same place next week. And in the meantime, we will be together in the Facebook group. Oh, wait, I clicked the wrong thing. Right, stop the record. No. How do I end this call? I never know how to use. Okay, I found the button. Okay, bye for now. Bye.